All right, when we're strength training for wrestling, there's a lot of different things that need to be covered. There are very, very few wrestling specific strength and conditioning coaches out there that will teach you the type of strength that it truly takes to be successful as a wrestler. As a wrestler, we need power, we need strength, we need endurance. However, a lot of the strength training routines that you find either online or that your school strength conditioning coach puts you through are power based, or they're strength based in a sense that they're trying to build more muscle tone rather than trying to build actual muscle endurance. Think about a wrestling match compared to uh, let's say a football play. A football play lasts as long as 15 seconds. It's very power burst. You get a couple shoves in, and then you sprint, 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 and then the goes over. You get about a minute to relax. Your muscles get a chance to recover, and then you do it again. In a wrestling match, that's not how it goes. In a wrestling match, we're out there for 6, 7 minutes without that type of structure. There's a lot of power. There's a lot of multi-event power. There's a lot of strength involved. There's a lot of push, pull, more so pull than pushing. And we want to be able to change direction a lot. So over a 6 to 7 minute match, we need a lot of endurance, but we need strength that lasts. We need power that isn't just single event power. We need multi-event power. And what I mean by that is if you shoot it on a high crotch, you need to pick your opponent up, and you do pick them up and slam them on the ground, and then they end up coming up again, then you need another power rep to be able to pick them up again and put them back down. But now you don't get a chance to rest. So you have to shift immediately from your power energy source into your strength energy source. And while you're doing that, allow your power energy source, your phosphagen system, to be able to recover for when your opponent escapes, you go back up to your feet, now you're ready to exert power again. That isn't something that happens in football training. That isn't something that happens when we're maxing out reps all the time. If you're somebody who grinds through reps, let's say we're doing 3 sets of 10, and all 10 of those reps in all 3 of those sets are pretty basic, pretty easy, and you never have to grind through those last 3 reps, then you're not actually doing wrestling training. What you're doing is strength training to be a normal person or a normal athlete, or you're doing football skills-based training, and we don't want to be that because there's another aspect that wrestlers need to have, and that is toughness. Mental toughness is something that you can't really develop inside of a person without adding physical training to it. So if you're in a lift and you're not trying to build mental toughness while you're inside of that lift, then you're completely missing a golden opportunity to train your brain to be tougher. So let's say we're going back to that 3 sets of 10 and you're 7 reps in and you don't feel like you can do those last 3 reps. Now you're in the wrestling training zone where you're building that muscular endurance, you're building that strength endurance to be able to grind through those last 3 reps. It's not about power at that point. It's not even about strength really at that point. It's more so about endurance and toughness. So after you grind through those last 3 reps, you give yourself not an extended break because this isn't football. This isn't something where you get a break mid-match and you get 3 minutes to recover. We get roughly 15 to 20 seconds tops to recover. So we want to train our body to recover quickly. And by shortening up our rest periods, we allow our body to start doing that. So we get through our first set, then we go back in for another set. And we don't want to decrease the weight. We want to keep it the same and grind through more reps. Let's say we only get to 5 reps this time. You're not going to cut yourself any slack and only do 8. You said you were going to do 10. So train yourself to be tough, train your endurance to grind through those last 5 reps and push yourself. If you have a spotter, make sure that your spotter is helping you grind through those reps. Don't let them just let you off the hook and just crank it off your chest. That's for power training. When you're trying to train for power and you can't get the rep, it is okay for your spotter to rip it off of you. But when we're training for power and then we need to engage our strength, we don't want our spotter to just lift that weight off of us. If we can get halfway through the rep through power, we want to grind through the last half of that rep using our strength. using our endurance. We need to be able to recruit more muscle fibers because in a match, when we're there for 6-7 minutes, we need to recruit almost everything that we have. So when you're strength training, we need to make sure that we're not just training for power, we're not just training for strength, and we're not just training for endurance. We're training through all of it. And additionally, we're training for toughness. So if you don't feel like you're getting that inside of your list right now, it's likely because you're not pushing the intensity enough. And your rest periods are far too big. Shrink those up, push yourself a little farther, find a spotter, find a partner who's actually going to let you strength train while you're doing your power reps and push each other to the limits. That's what's going to help you strength train better as a wrestler.